Bitcoin is about to be breaking out of this massive consolidation phase, and in the next 48 hours there is going to be something massive happening on Bitcoin. And on today's update video, I'm going to be talking about some very important charts which are revealing something about this cycle, what is currently happening, the reasons why we need to be paying very close attention towards what currently is happening, the wider perspective, and many more important charts and patterns which are telling us something about what currently is happening on Bitcoin, which we need to be knowing about right now. So without any further ado, don't forget to once again slap that like button back above 1,000 likes. That will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the content. So first of all, if we're looking at the Bitcoin lower time frames, we're seeing that we're creating clearly a new price compression with an upward sloping support line on the lower side, which provided many times support right now for Bitcoin, and a downward sloping resist line from the top side, which also got us rejected more than 3 times in a row already. So Bitcoin is compressing, and basically what we're looking at right now is that we're probably going to be having a massive breakout in the coming period ahead of ourselves right now. So Bitcoin is consolidating, and you can see it also in the 4-hourly time frame. A breakout is most likely going to come next year, and the reason why I'm saying in the next 48 hours you need to be watching this video and that we're going to be getting some very explosive price action is of course due to the fact that we're going to be having on Wednesday that US inflation data, and this data is going to be very important for what the Federal Reserve is going to be doing in terms of cutting the rates aggressively or probably a little bit more slowly. So we need to be seeing on how this data is going to come in here, because if this is going to come in any hotter than expected, guys, I believe we're going to get fireworks across all markets. I mean, if we're currently looking at the S&P 500, we indeed saw a slight move towards the downside. We're bouncing back up here, but if the data is going to come in hotter than expected, I'm expecting another move downwards, which will be, of course, very bad for all the markets. So this data, which is going to come out in an approximately 48 hours from now on, you need to be watching this data very closely, because this is going to tell us something about how the market is going to be reacting, what the market is going to be doing. But I want to be pointing out as well that it is currently time to zoom out here. So the Federal Reserve is expecting to cut the rates, and yes, once they're going to be doing so, the money printer is going to go back on again, increasing global liquidity and money creation, and this is ultimately going to lead assets to be rising in value, because as there is going to be more money in circulation, assets or things that are actually scarce are going to be rising in valuation, such as Bitcoin. And I believe with the popularity of Bitcoin rising even more in the coming years ahead of ourselves, and already rising in the all past like 2 or 3 years, guys, this leaves me to a belief that Bitcoin is most likely going to be still the superior asset for the coming decade or so. So I am still investing most of my wealth into Bitcoin and altcoins, and literally I am right now 95% committed with all my income, with all my money I have into crypto, because I'm so highly convinced it is going to be going much higher. So yes, this is right now the time to be zooming out here, that indeed we're currently creating this consolidation phase, and we're most likely going to be having quite a big breakout. If we're going to be breaking down, we're going to most likely come down to 55,000 US dollars, and if we break bullish, we're most likely going to be pushing back up to 64,000 US dollars. So this is important to be paying attention towards. But ultimately, guys, the data which we're going to get on Wednesday is going to really determine that potentially the Federal Reserve is going to cut the rates more aggressively and the printer is going to go on sooner, or that they're going to postpone it a little bit here. So the data is going to be crucial for the market. So doing a little bit more deep dive on Bitcoin, of course, just like I said a moment ago, if we're going to be talking about the long term, and I'm currently talking about like 1 or 2 years, I believe Bitcoin is ultimately going to be trading higher than this level where we're currently trading at. But if I'm currently looking at the imminent short term, if we're looking at Bitcoin right now here, what we can currently clearly see is that we're creating a massive downward sloping resist line, support line, which we are getting support by every single time here. But what I want to be seeing is that Bitcoin bounced from off this green box right here, creating a higher low in the structure, and basically confirming that we are right now looking towards pushing up higher ever so slightly from off this point. So if we come down back again towards the downward sloping support line, then I believe that Bitcoin is most likely still going to be filling up the wick here, and that would lead me to be opening up a new trade on Bitcoin. So yes, guys, I'm still waiting to open up a new trade. If Bitcoin already bounced from off this level right here, I'm going to be definitely take it, because I am very heavily invested on Bitcoin and crypto on my spot position, so I'm massively going to be benefiting it from it already. So what I always should say to everyone out there is, of course, you need to make your own decisions. You need to make your own portfolio. I'm not a financial advisor, but what I have done is the majority of my money I allocated towards a spot position, and then with some of my money, I am trading. So I don't need to trade always, because if the market goes up anyway, I'm going to be making a profit. So that is literally my strategy, because I am committed for the long term. But what I really quickly want to be pointing out here is that if we're going to be comparing those Bitcoin cycles, we're actually still at the beginning stage of this next cycle. And it is important to understand where we're currently sitting, but just like the 2011, 2014, 2019, all those previous cycles, guys, we have seen very similar price action. And if we're just looking about what kind of stage of the cycle we're currently in, the most exponential gains are still likely to come next year. And I think this consolidation where we're currently in is actually looking quite beautiful. Then also, we have some breaking news. Bitcoin miner reserves are literally hitting lows not seen since 2021. And this is pretty interesting thing to see here, because once they hit the lows, back in 2021, it was just moments before Bitcoin rose from $30,000 to $60,000 US. So this basically is also indicating there's not going to be a lot of sell pressure from these Bitcoin miners to actually sell Bitcoin in the next rally towards the upside. They've sold most of their Bitcoin already around this region between 50 and 60,000 US dollars. Very good to see. And while this all is happening, we're still seeing the market being extremely fearful. And yes, once the market isn't fair, you should be greedy. Yesterday on the spot Bitcoin ETF, we've seen very minor inflows. 27 million US dollars. This is definitely one of the lowest volume days here I've actually seen in a very long time here. But nevertheless, we're still seeing Bitcoin getting accumulated by the Bitcoin spot ETFs. And just like I said earlier in the video, I'm looking to open up a new trade here. But guys, if you want to be claiming $30,000 in deposit bonuses, make sure to go to the highest link in the description of today's video. And if you sign up using that link below here, you can actually claim a free $500 US airdrop position on top of the $30,000 US deposit bonus you can already get on Bybit. So if you're interested in trading, check it out in the link description of today's video. But diving even further, guys, I'm going through the most important facts real quickly. We're still seeing funding rates remain to be extremely negative in the market across altcoins, across Bitcoin, meaning the market is getting heavily shorted. We know there's a lot of liquidity laying above us currently. Tether is still printing more money, and that is ultimately, in my opinion, going to be leading towards newer and higher Bitcoin prices. Bitcoin is still trading in this massive bull flag pattern where we're still bouncing from the lower side of support every single time once we did touch this level, and where we also get rejected from the downward slope resistance line on the top side every single time we do touch it as well here. So things are looking beautiful. Bitcoin is still consolidating beautifully right now here. And one thing I'm actually maybe not worried about, but actually is interesting to be pointing out here, is that on the 2-week MACD right now, we're actually crossing bearish. And the last 2 times we did this was, of course, in the beginning of the bear market, and also in that pre-consolidation phase before Bitcoin went towards new all-time highs again here. So are we seeing a similar fake out right now in the market? I mean, momentum on the higher time frame is shifting, but what I really want to be pointing out is that we're not seeing such a big drop here. No, all we're seeing is sideways consolidation, and that is why the MACD is showing a sign of shifting momentum right now here. But on the bigger perspective, most likely the biggest breakout is still yet to come here, since we're creating one of the largest, I say one of the, but literally the largest Bitcoin Bitcoin head and shoulders pattern right now here. So important to be paying attention towards what currently is happening, guys. It is time to be zooming out right now here. And whenever we are going to see those rate cuts come in again in the market, increasing global liquidity, we're just going to get the biggest bull market we have ever dreamt of. So guys, it is time to zoom out right now here. But anyways, this is it for me in today's update video. If you did enjoy it, slap that like button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.